Welcome to Glasgow Apollo Live with Scott and Andy.
Welcome once again to Glasgow Apollo Live with me, Scott MacArthur, in the middle of the rainy, horrible Cotswolds.
And me, Andy Muir, in the middle of the rainy Sydney.
Come on.
It's very rainy.
Tell you that new music at the start there sounded a bit like Crown Lands, didn't it?
I was thinking, no? Well, I don't
No.
know. It sounded a bit like, there's a part in it, it's a bit like Black Sabbath.
It was all right. Aye. That's, if you've watched the show before, folks, you'll know we normally have much more interesting music at the start, but because of Facebook, we're having to change a lot of the music that we use because they're turning into a bunch of wallies. Anyway, so welcome once again to the show. We've got quite an interesting one lined up for tonight. It's been a week and a half. How have you been? What have you been listening to, mate?
Oh, I've been listening to a naughty band called Amel and the Sniffers.
What?
Amel, A-M-L-Y, and the Sniffers.
Right. Okay.
I think,
Is this a gay metal band or something?
No, mate. No.
No.
Female fronted rock band.
Oh.
Short songs, very shouty. If she met you, she'd probably punch you in the face.
Excellent. It's one of those Ramone type, like Boots.
No, they're good. I like them. It was my daughter Aurora put me onto them. So.
All right. Okay. Well, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've been listening to. I can't even remember. Oh, I've been listening to Dirty Honey.
Good.
I really like them. They're really good.
Yeah.
And then I was listening. What was I listening today? Well, I was in the car with it's half term here, Andy, and I had 4 boys in the car today, and I went to one of these these climbing frame things where you just chuck your children at them and then go and have a beer. One of those places.
Yes.
And I went to one of them today, and in the car they had on all this TikTok music.
15 seconds more.
Very odd. So they were doing TikTok, and then Bertie's in the background. That's my youngest. He's going, Daddy, put some ZZ Top on. So we had ZZ Top, Dust My Broom, Have You Heard? Great song. So we were doing that in the car. So that was the only music I've listened to this week because I've just been throwing hammers at Facebook and getting really cross and losing my mind. But
I've been listening to other stuff. But,
have you?
Amel and the Sniffers, very good.
I'll look them up. Amel and the Sniffers. Anyway,
they're good. And a guy called Anders Osborne, who's pretty good.
Right.
American. Very good.
And I have to say, all of this is great, but what's going on in the world right now, particularly in Ukraine?
Yeah.
My God, if you're watching us from Ukraine, stay safe, guys. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Some horror stories in the news today. So got to say that at the start of the show.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to be doing basically the classic show that we've been having for a year now. But if you are tuning in for the first time, please put your name and where you're tuning in from in the comments because we'll love to know. It's really brilliant when we see names coming from exotic places like Bear's Den and less exotic places like Santa Monica. I think we do have somebody from Santa Monica coming in tonight. He said he was going to come in. So that's not so bad. Say that again.
Auchentoshan.
Oh, there's a place. And if you're in the Facebook group and you're new, you'll see your name coming up. Let me just see if anybody's got it. Yeah, there's one there. Facebook.
What was that? Didn't I make a little link, but I've forgotten what it was?
You probably did. I think you said you were going to. Anyway, if you are tuning in from Facebook, the Facebooks, and you come up like that, someone saying evening, guys, if you want to solve that, it doesn't always work because there's some little arguments between the software. If you type in that chat.restream.io/FB, your name will magically appear. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it in the chat as well. Hang on. Edit. Because it actually, I've just deleted it. That's good. That's a really clever thing to do. So anyway, it's if you go to the top of the Facebook group, it's there.
Mate,
I'll
what are you doing, man?
I've had a bad day. Anyway, so yeah, but welcome for the first time, and for everyone else, lovely to see you again. Who do we have?
For the noob here?
Oh,
what is it again?
I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, I can actually. I've got it here. Hang on.
HTTP.
Yeah, you don't need that bit.
Yes, you do.
I don't think you do. No, hang on. I'm going to post it into the chat, dude, because it's not. It's easier for folk just to.
Yeah, I was going to do that too.
Where's it going?
Just speak English.
Whenever
just tell me what it is.
I can't remember. Oh, it's chat.restream.io/FB.
I'm pretty sure I made something up for this.
There's one there. There's an example there. There's Boots, who's a regular on the show, coming in, and he regularly doesn't input his name. But we know it's him because he's a cheeky sod and he always puts Boots on. So welcome to the show, Boots. Good to see you, mate. Cheryl's here. Hello, Cheryl. Thank you very much for coming in again. We've got another Facebook user. Hello, Scott and Andy, and good music fans. Yeah, there's plenty of Rush fans in here. A few Marillion fans. Doug's in from the States. Hello, Doug. Good to see you. Bond's here. Good evening, boys and girls. Facebook
Fashionably late. Ha.
Well, you know. More mayhem, please, Dave. I think there could be quite a lot because I'm really in the mood. In fact, I'm in a stinking mood.
The mood. What a nut.
Tony from EK coming up. Facebook user on the screen. Okay, Tony, thanks very much. Is that Anthony then? Is that Tony? Yeah, that'll be him. Yeah, hello. Good to see you. Right, so without further ado, I think, Mr. Muir, we should jump straight into your favourite bit of the show.
One of those places.
Oh,
yes.
And one of them.
Turn me off.
I think.
What are you doing?
What?
I can hear myself coming over. You soon learn the value of having stingers and overlays because when Mr. Muir presses the wrong button or I press the wrong button, they can make you look much more professional than you actually are. Right, Mr. Muir? What was happening this week at the Glasgow Apollo?
I don't think there's anything that could make me much more professional.
I think you're doing a sterling job. Don't start.
Right, okay.
Keep going.
50 years ago.
50?
50 years ago, free John Martin and Traffic.
I want to know about this gig. Have we had this gig on before?
Well, we had it on last year, but yeah.
Was it on the database this time last year?
Yeah. It's been a long time.
I mean, what a gig.
I know. Yep.
Traffic and John Martin. And then you've got Paul Rogers.
And then free. Yeah.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
I think it probably was I think I said this last year. Probably was an island. Were they Ireland? No, they weren't Ireland. They were
whatever they were.
Swan Song. Were they? No, they were Ireland. Were they?
Right.
I can't remember. Anyway, it was probably an album, a tour with the band Label Mates. That was Thursday, February 24th, 1972. Now, I think Derek was at that.
Of course he was.
He's been at almost every gig on this list. Derek McAdam.
The Professor.
The Professor. Yeah. Okay, Motor Hoople with Sensational Love. It's Harvey Band, February 22nd.
Hold on. Again, look at those first two gigs, right? Free, John Martin and Traffic, then Motor Hoople and the Alex Harvey Band.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
I mean, these are utterly amazing gigs, and I don't normally go on about these things.
Yeah, I think Motor Hoople weren't the best that night, but Alex Harvey Band were. I was looking at the comments, so
right.
Well, maybe if you're a fan, they were brilliant. But,
I mean, fuck. Excuse me, swearing. Sorry.
I know. And then you got Elton John, 2 days after Motor Hoople.
He was actually listenable then, wasn't he? He was quite good back then.
Yeah, he was great. And then Traffic played their headline gig, 1974, February 21st. When I go through this, I'll tell you what I did listen to. I did listen to. Oh, Have you gone? Am I here?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're still there. Yeah. ELO and Raymond Froggatt played February 24th, 1974. Listen to that ELO album. Wow, you talk about stuff being a bit proggy.
Aye, absolutely.
I think ELO had gone a bit proggy as well. But they've gone now. What can we do? We'll be the Beatles, and then we'll be.
Yeah.
They are very Beatles,
I know this is not always popular. I mean, then they had one song and did it about 400 times.
Yeah. Well,
I just got really bored with
good
Yellow.
formula. Good formula.
Oh, it worked. I thought they were crap. I know folk like them, but I'm no.
Yeah. Well, your mate Graham Potter, he's a big ELO fan.
He was. Well, the early stuff was brilliant. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. But it just went into that. Was it the Blue album, the one with the spaceship on it? And then
possibly
it just all went every song, and it was like,
well,
I know folk like them, but I no.
Yeah, they were out there. I mean, obviously successful. And Roll Over Beethoven's pretty good.
Good song.
But he didn't write it, so
no, it's all a good song.
Chuck Berry wrote it. Who's coming up momentarily? Manitas de Plata, a guitarist guy. I forgot to listen to him. I listened to him last year. Thought he was all right.
Is that sort of what, Spanishy or classical or?
Yeah, probably Spanishy with that name. He's not going to. I don't think he's rocking up and doing a bit of Scottish country dancing. although he might do. He might have chipped in a. We'll take the high road and you take the low road. A la AC/DC. That was Monday, February the 25th, 1974. That was for Manitas de Plata. Chuck Berry. I'm going to have to move this in a minute, mate. Sorry. I'm in the way. Chuck Berry played Friday the 21st, 1975, 47 years ago. There was a wee bit of chat about that gig.
I saw that.
He wasn't that. I don't know. It was just like pooing on your what do you call it? On your, what's the word I'm looking for?
Your band? Your
fan?
Your house?
Your legacy.
Doing
what he did. Like
he
doing
was
all the, like
bloody peculiar, wasn't he? Live, he was very odd. I saw him.
Well, yeah. I saw him at the Royal Concert Hall.
Oh, did you?
Buchanan Street.
Right.
Buchanan Street, and it was kind of embarrassing.
Aye.
I was like, man, the band are playing really well, and you stopped the this. It probably sort of similar happened.
Yeah.
Every gig he played did this. He did. Chris, he did it with Keith Richards and everything on that documentary. Oh, you're playing it wrong. Yeah, I love it. I love that bit. Keith's just about to lamp him. But anyway, when I saw him, it was like I was sort of going, oh man, you don't have to do that. Tell the piano player what to play. I mean, he knows. He's a piano player.
Exactly.
Anyway, so but he did it for his reasons. So probably,
I saw him. He
wrote some brilliant songs.
I saw him at Whitley Bay on a Boys Brigade camp.
Fuck! No way.
I did, and it was. I went with.
Was he at the Boys Brigade camp? Or
I think he might have been. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But I went with a couple of guys that were a bit older than me and said, "Oh, you need to come and see him." And they had a spare ticket because I could never afforded the ticket, so I went to see him. And I had the very same experience. It was like, who does this guy think he is? It was just weird.
Yeah.
It was. He had. I mean, he played his guitar, but not much, and he couldn't really sing. And he was really horrible to everybody, and he ignored the audience. Apart from that, it was like a Status Quo concert, So.
No. We're digressing into Chuck Berry reminiscence, but when all his songs have got a little sort of the same sort of intro, but they're slightly different, and so. He probably didn't even tell the band what he was going to play. He'd just play like a start riff,
Aye.
And then they go, oh, Jesus, it's you know, like sweet little, you know, whatever, sweet little 16 or something, you know. But everyone in the audience knew all the starts, so they were going, yay! It's very good. It was good. It was a good gig, but apart from the wee bit of impact, when he got going and everything, it was good. But and then I think he came out. We were waiting outside. I don't know why we were waiting outside, but we were waiting outside, and he came out and walked into his car. It was pretty funny. But that wasn't long after he finished, so there was no.
If he'd done that in Glasgow, mate, you can imagine him trying to get back to his car. Boo, ya big bum.
That wasn't Glasgow. That wasn't.
It?
Yeah. Buchanan Street.
Did he get booed?
No.
Oh.
No. Go on yourself, big man. Oh, that's.
Yeah, go on yourself. You were rotten. Come back again and try and play the guitar next time. Anyway.
Yeah. No. He was good at the guitar, but I think he probably purposely played the wrong keys and everything, so that just to mess up the guitar, mess up the band. You know, we're doing it in the F. Oh, are we? Okay. Okay, so Susie Quattro, Cozy Pills Hammer, and the Arrows played Sunday, February 23rd, 1975. Should have listened to Susie, but I do like her. That first album she's got is quite.
I have to confess, I don't know her stuff that well at all, apart from the singles.
Oh yeah, no, she's pretty good. Well, the singles are what you listen.
Yeah,
but she's pretty good. Yeah,
I mean, I listened to that. She is. I mean, I listened to the album with Andy Scott that we did a couple of weeks. Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. I'm living in a time warp.
Yeah.
But that is, as somebody said, it is a bit patchy, but it's still got some really good songs on it and some really good playing on it. Actually. She can play bass. I didn't appreciate that she was quite a good bass player, actually.
Oh, mate, she was doing a YouTube thing over lockdown of all her bass lines.
Aye.
Sort of showing you how to play them.
Yeah.
And she's tiny compared to the bass. Well, she's tiny, and the bass is massive.
Massive.
Yeah. But,
and Cozy Pell's Hammer, is that him just bashing the drums for a half an hour?
No, that was him. Yeah, he was just by him and a hammer, him and an anvil, smashing away for half an hour. That was it. The Arrows fans. I don't know what you were like. But,
don't know anything about them.
Brian Ferry.
Don't know enough to give them any abuse. That's quite disappointing, really.
No. Brian Ferry played 2 nights, Friday 23rd and 24th of February 1977. It would have been Brian Ferry-ish. You'd have been giving it smooth stylings. Yeah. The smooth stylings of Brian Ferry. Ladies and gentlemen. He'd have been good. He probably chucked in a couple of Roxy Music songs in there. Virginia Plain probably got a
this is heresy in this group sometimes, but I never really got. I mean, I know a lot of folk like the early Roxy stuff, and I quite like some of the early Roxy stuff. But then in the 80s, it just went all to hell. So I thought.
Well, it went Brian Ferry.
Went Brian Ferry, yeah. But I must chase up some video of him doing stuff then, because he was obviously good. Because there's people in here that I respect what they're saying. But I've never hear somebody saying something about the Arrows. Ah, right, okay. That's where I've heard the name before, Dave. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, absolutely. The Arrows wrote the song I Love Rock and Roll. Of course they did. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that now.
Right.
But, very good. And what else have we got here?
He played the right keys, not necessarily
the right. I think you're right, Paul. That's how it felt. Yeah.
Yeah, I know all the notes. That's an Eric Morecambe joke.
Aye.
I know all the notes, just not in the right order. It's fully older than that. Anyway, Ted Nugent and Steve Gibbons band played February the 25th, 1977. I listened to some Ted last night.
Fever.
Brilliant.
Good.
It's a good band. They are a good band.
They were good.
I really, for a rock, and everyone says like he wasn't even the proper singer. So, the singer they had, Derek Derek St. Hubbins. I said that last year too. David St. Holmes. Derek St. Anyway, he's a really good singer. Brilliant singer. I love him.
This
Classic,
photograph,
classic
if you haven't seen it on the group, folks, this was taken by Stuart Campbell at the Apollo in the 1970s. This is
that one.
Aye.
Really?
That's on the Apollo stage. Yeah, I've got other ones from the same gig, mate. That's the one. He took the watermark off that one because he sent it to me for my birthday.
Really?
Yeah. It's a good
I didn't know
picture.
they had those wee mics in the 70s.
So he does.
Also,
Sherlock. Maybe I was being led up a garden path.
Yeah, that
You're
looks
right.
a bit.
It does
more
look a
recent
bit
than that.
later on,
Maybe.
doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, very good. Still a
Anyway,
good picture though.
Good picture. Good
And
picture.
the professor sent that ticket, and Derek got his autograph as well. I noticed.
Yeah. It's good. Good. They're a good band. Good rock band. Don't agree with his politics, but
No, his politics are stinking.
yeah. And yeah. Anyway, so you can't agree with everyone all the time.
No, that's for sure.
Gallagher and Lyle played 2 nights, February 24th and 25th, 1978. Lads, I should have listened to Gallagher and Lyle. I do like them, but there's only so many hours in the day that I can listen to music. And I was listening to Amel and the Sniffers all week. They're very Australian, by the way. They're very Australian. Because their accent is pretty harsh. I forgot. Chris de Burgh played February 21st, 1979. Didn't even look up Chris de Burgh. Sorry, Chris, if you're watching. Sorry, mate. I'm so sorry I didn't listen to you this week.
It's dead easy to not listen to Chris de Burgh.
I know. It just slips past me.
It does. It just slips past. It's like one of those sort of, those. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's got lots of fans, and
he's got lots of fans. Down with the Daniel O'Donnell fans. They're all together.
I don't know. I think there's a different demographic there. Chris de Burgh and Daniel O'Donnell.
Don't know.
Both Irish, but
And you too, mate. And you too.
You can't lump. I mean, you might as well say like Thin Lizzy and Daniel O'Donnell fans. Oh, brilliant!
Yes.
Stiff Little Fingers and Daniel O'Donnell fans. All the same.
Yeah, they all sound the same. Yeah, they're all Irish.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
The Average White Band played 2 gigs. Friday the 22nd, 1979, and Friday the 23rd, 1979.
What do you think of them?
I like them.
Do you?
I do like them, but I like the hits. So some of it was a bit samey because it's a bit funky and a bit disco-ish, but they were all right. They were good. I mean, they're a very successful band.
They did very well, didn't they?
Yeah, they're very, very successful.
They're a bit like, we had a bit of a debate online this week about Scheme again. Every now and again, Scheme come up, and for me, they were the same. I get why folk liked them, but for me, I just didn't quite get. I certainly didn't get Scheme, and I always thought this bunch of loonies were nearly brilliant, but I couldn't quite get them. They were, maybe if I listened to them again, mate, I could get into them now. Maybe now, but back in the day,
well, when you hear Picking Up the Pieces, man, what a song!
It's a good song. I agree with that. That is a good song.
And if you did, I know it's a bit. If you didn't know they were a lot of white blokes from Fife or somewhere, where Dundee maybe, you'd go, whoa, that's a good American band, but they're a really good band. The Tourists and the Solos played February 24th, 1980.
That'd be good.
That'd be good, but do you think the Tourists would have been big enough to do a big gig? Maybe they didn't, but maybe they did.
I don't think that. I mean, if anyone was there, I'm sure they'll tell us, but I suspect it was half full.
Yeah.
Which means it's half empty. I'm good at math. I'm really good at maths. But I think I quite like the Tourists. She didn't use her voice as much as she did with the Eurythmics, but But equally, she didn't go on and all that sort of. She's from a different dimension now.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
But
Yeah, well,
I'd like to be at that. Who are the solos then?
I don't know. Was that just one? I don't know.
Have I heard them?
Seems a bit like a. Was it a duo? Two people came together. Said they were called the Solos. Anyway, sorry, dad joke. Crocus and More played February 21st, 1981. Now, I've heard some Crocus, and I listened to the album Headhunter last night.
Great band.
Brilliant. Love it. I'd never listened to them very much at all. First song, Headhunter. It's like Biff Bifford and Rob Halford in the one song.
The boy can sing. I mean, he's a bit derivative, but he can definitely sing.
Yeah. It's a good band. So, if you
I remember that they had the song "Bedside Radio" that I thought was brilliant. I loved that song.
All right.
It's a great song.
Well, if you're into 80s Harry Chester rock, there's none more Harry Chester
than Crocus.
Mark Storace.
Yeah.
Mark Storace. Yeah, a good heavy rock band. So if you like that, go for that.
And More were quite good as well, weren't they? They weren't bad.
Yeah, someone said they did something a bit daft. Oh, they said something. They walked on stage and said we're an atomic powered band, and they got pelters.
Oh dear.
I don't know. Maybe there was a C&D call people in the crowd. I don't know. Anyway, the Stranglers played February 25th, 1980. I listened to the Stranglers live album from the period, 1980 and 82. Pretty good. Excuse me, I do quite like them. Although, I think I've said it before, it's very dozy when it's live.
Yeah.
So they're good. And there's a couple of songs I was thinking, I bet you they don't do that now. Yeah, bet you they don't sing that song now.
Yes.
Alice Cooper played February the 19th, 1982 with Sapphire, and I listened to this album as well. Good, it was all right. A bit weird this album. What's it called? It's called Special Forces.
Aye.
Yeah, but a bit different. There's a couple of songs. The Prettiest Cop on the Block. I think he was going for shock there.
Right.
Don't Talk Old to Me. Generation Landslide. That's a good song. But some odd songs on that album. But it does say in this review, one of the most interesting releases of his post 1975 period, which is everything since 1975, mate. So it's good. I quite enjoyed it. Good. And I didn't listen to Sapphire because probably couldn't find anything about it. 10cc and Jealous Girl played. 10cc headlined February 25th, 1982. Most people know how good 10cc are, and they're good musicians, good songwriting. Not for everyone. Probably, I don't know if a lot of Stranglers fans went to that, but maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know. But you could have a wide crossover. They're all right. They're a good band. Joan Armatrading played February 21st, 1985. Wow, we're getting up to nearly closing time there for the Apollo.
Yeah.
And didn't listen to Joan, but I've listened to her before. Quite like her. She's all right. And Meatloaf and Terraplane played February 22nd, 1985. I was at this gig, but I get the Meatloaf part confused with the previous Meatloaf gig I was at.
So do I.
But I do remember seeing Terraplane, and I thought, brilliant band.
Fantastic band.
Watching them going, that singer's brilliant. That singer's really good. I like him. He's a good singer. And then I heard they broke up, and then about 2 years later, or 3 years, maybe 4 years later, they returned as Thunder. Well, quite a few of them returned as Thunder. And yeah, I did like that song they did. I can't. Oh, anyway, I can't remember the name of the song now. Too early in the morning for me. But yeah, good band. I keep talking to myself. That one.
So there's a few. No, the album's good actually. I mean, it's dated.
Oh yeah, black and
production's
white.
really dated.
Black and white. Yeah.
But it's still a good. There's quite a lot of comments. To see if we can get through some of these.
Oh, that's great. Dave Wilson says Terraplanes. Danny Bowes once bought me and my older brother a pint at one of their gigs. Great guy and a great band. No, good.
There you go.
Good,
Very
good.
Danny's a star. I mean, he's now. It's funny because they're now bigger than they've ever been, and they're playing arenas now. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, just released an album.
Have they? Haven't heard it yet, but they're a terrific band. I mean, we've spoken to this before, but remember that night you don't remember, do you? But that night we saw them at the venue in Edinburgh. What a night, man! Jeez.
I don't remember that, mate.
What a band! It was terrific. And
I was just, I wasn't used to the Edinburgh air. That's what it was.
It was the air, was it? Wasn't it the 80 shilling?
Or was it Edinburgh ale? Maybe.
It might have been the ale.
Yeah.
But I remember going to see. I mean, I went to see about a lot more gigs at the Playhouse than I ever did at the Apollo because I moved over to Edinburgh in '84. And I remember the gigs, lots of good gigs there, but the atmosphere never came close. Even at AC/DC gigs, it never came close to a lot of like Leicester gigs at the Apollo. But I remember going to see Thunder. I was in the front row of the circle with my mate Brian Gordon, and they were absolutely off the scale good. The place just went completely bananas. I'm certain half of the Glasgow choir were there because the place just went mental. And it's funny because their career went up and down and up and down and up and down, but they now seem to be on and up. And it's great because he's such a good man and such a good singer. His voice hasn't gone down either, has it? It's not deteriorated, Danny Bowes' voice. He can still do it live.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's still good. He knows how to get around the notes.
Use what he's got. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Somebody's saying there that he's got a good show on Planet Rock. Yeah, I think I might have heard that a few times. Right. Yeah. But I tend not to listen too much to Planet Rock because it got a bit, and I don't mean this the way it sounds, because it got a bit Bon Jovi for me. It was the same tracks over and over and over again. I'm not against Bon Jovi, but I just got a bit sick of it. It was like, God, but no, I did listen to it a few times. He is pretty good. He's a good DJ. And I hear there's Fiona saying that Danny's voice is actually better than it used to be. Well, he's amazing. If you've never heard the Danny Bowes and Thunder,
Jesus.
What are you doing, man? It's not very professional. Now, the DG will be down to get us, as Parkinson, or whatever his name was, Terry Wogan used to say. The DG's coming to say us. Fiona saying she's a huge Thunder fan. Absolutely. I've actually got a signed gold disc of theirs downstairs. I think they're just amazing. Absolutely brilliant. So there's a few other bits and pieces here that I'd quite like to get through, mate, while we're doing it, because folk, it's quite funny. Did crocus always come up in the spring? And then Tony's saying that he thought Alice Cooper looked ill on that tour. I've heard a few folks saying that he didn't look great, but I've also heard folks saying it was great. So I don't know. I need to hear the bootlegs. Sorry, the rescue recordings. But and here's a long one from Graham. I'll just read this because it's too long to go into the chat, Andy. Evening, chaps. Susie, Cozzy, and the Arrows were all on the same record label, RAK. Susie played bass on Cozzy's biggest solo, Dance with the Devil. I remember that. Oh, yeah. They also used to play on each other's sessions. Cozzy was also rumoured. I've not heard this before. Graham, and Graham knows what he's talking about. Cozzy also was rumoured to have been the drummer on Stevie Wonder's Superstition. Well, him and Jeff Beck were in Detroit at the time doing a Motown project that never saw the light of day. But Cozzy, to the day he passed, said it was him that played the drums on the track, despite Stevie himself taking the credit for the drumming. Whoa, that's interesting, isn't it? I've not heard that before. Very good. Yeah, very good.
I didn't know that. Hadn't heard that before.
I didn't know that before either. And then we've got Peter. Hello, welcome back, Pete. Saying that Scheme's music should have been used more in Glasgow-related things on TV. I need to listen to them again, Pete, because I just I don't quite get it. It was kind of reggae, moody, and I like reggae music, but I didn't quite get it. Maybe I need to listen to them a bit more. I see where you're coming from, though. Absolutely. Particularly because they were singing about what it was like living in Glasgow at the time. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I can understand that. Definitely understand that. And there's Bond saying about Crocus, one vice at a time is great. Yeah, it is very Bond Scottish. And they actually, who was it? Who's the photographer? What's his name? The guy that gave us the status quo pictures from the front of the website.
Robert Ellis.
Robert Ellis. He went as far as saying that there was a link between AC/DC and Crocus at one time. I remember Robert saying, and I think the wee guy was even up for the DC job at one point, but he's probably too much for Bon Scott.
He is. Sometimes when I listened to the album, I was going, "Oh, that's just Bon Scott." Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
He even does a little Bon Scott ad lib in one of the songs.
Aye. Yeah.
Like, oh, mate, come on.
And here's somebody saying about the Alice Cooper gig. Great gig, but Alice was emaciated with alcoholism at the time, been dry for over 25 years. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the pictures, you're absolutely right. I mean, you look bloody hellish, to be honest. Boots, oh dear. I'm in hospital. I swallowed a bulb. I'll be out in the spring. Dear. Anyway, so yeah, that was brilliant. Well done. Hey, I tell you what, you didn't mumble at all. Young man. That was excellent. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at what's been happening on the socials this week. Well, I think busy is the word I would use once again.
Busy, yep. Busy.
Unbelievable.
Lots of stuff going on. Is this where I do the... Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen and everybody else, this is our nearly our 60th show. Right. We do this thing on a Friday night, right?
Hey, it's just as soon as it's done, I go to sleep. That's it.
Well, that's fine. Everybody forgives you, I assure you.
Checking out my beard, actually. Come on. 71 posts this week. Very good. 1,500 comments and nearly 5,000 reactions.
How many?
5,000 reactions. That's good. I think we've got 11,100 members now, which is good. And I think that's about maybe 50 this week. 50-ish. Right. And we had 864 people posting and commented, and 44,000 views of stuff. Yeah. It was a good week. That's it. Short and sweet. That
was very short and sweet. Now, things that have been happening then, just while you're hang on, let me just get this off the screen. Give it loud and there you go. Boots has got your corner, mate. Boots has got your corner.
Oh yeah. Oh well, there was a few issues. Now I'm talking to Boots now. And your good self.
No. Do you know? Might as well talk about that. We got, and this is quite worrying actually, and I know we have a laugh, but this is quite worrying. We actually got an official warning this week for a post that was basically, if you remember, those of you who are regulars, and I know there's 7,000 of you are regulars on the Facebook group, we had a warning for saying Apollo heads. That's the word, Andy. Apollo heads. That's the word that got us a warning. And there is no way to appeal. Now, and guys, thanks for your support. It was absolutely
how do you know it was that word? Did it say that word?
Because I was talking to a guy who I know who is into the algorithm stuff, and I sent it to him, and he looked at it and said the two words "sweet" and "Apollo heads" could be contrived as being something with I don't want to say it. But anyway, yeah. And I'm not talking about just ordinary grown-up sex. I'm talking about someone else. But that's what he said. I mean, it might not be that. I mean, it could be wrong, but that's what he said to me when I sent it. And he does algorithms for LinkedIn, not for Facebook.
Yeah.
But,
I thought it might have been a word that it's not. It's a normal word that just not.
But the thing that worries us both, folks, is that it could take the Facebook group down. And once they take it down, you can appeal. And of course, we would win or appeal if they did it, but it would mean the group would be down. It could be any amount of time. I think someone actually said, it might be Boots actually, somebody said that there'd been 3 years since they made an appeal and they hadn't heard. So Andy and I are looking at alternatives. The show will still go on. It's whether the thing that worries me is the Facebook group is now an incredibly rich source of information about the Glasgow Apollo. You wouldn't know it when folks still post, did Steely Dan ever play at the Apollo? Anyway, but it's an incredibly rich www.glasgowapollo.com. Yeah, Raj. Anyway, and but no, I was being serious. It's such a rich source now that even if we start up another group on Twitch or one of the other me or any of these other sites, it would have to start from scratch again. And it's that pisses me off. It's not that we're going to, lose the show. It's not, because we won't. We'll keep it going and we'll just move somewhere else. It's that richness that I'm worried about. And can we download, Andy? Can we download a group? I know you can download your own personal data. I'm not sure you can download a group. So
you can't download the group.
No. So anyway, so that's what's made me. I've got grey hairs coming now. I'm like my brother. Look, I've grey hair coming now because it's starting to really hack me off.
What the hell?
Yeah. But it's 14 years, man.
I know.
It's that. I mean, okay, most of it's been in the last 2 years, but it's just. So anyway, to change the subject, but on the more positive side, the things that have been coming up this week again have been terrific. Now, one of them were these. Now, they're not brilliant, but
yes,
the co-pictures. Look at those.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Right now, if they were scanned and fiddled with, they'd be a lot better than they are. They're just taken with a camera and stuck on there. But this sort of thing still to this day and I'll tell you the guy's name in a minute. They still keep showing up, and that's why it's so important that we keep this going.
And
so important. They just keep coming. And there's when Andy and I started this 20 years ago, we got the odd one, didn't we? We used to get the odd email or the odd letter. We got the real letters back then. It's more. There's more now because there's more folk involved. So it's getting better every single week.
I was interested to see the Van Halen pictures too.
Aye.
Even though a lot of people said the gig was
mince.
But it was interesting to see the process of getting that lighting rig up.
Aye, brilliant.
And the view from the circle.
Yes.
So you could see. I sent that one to William, who's doing the model, so you could see how that circle went. But it was good. That was interesting to see the view there.
There was another few. There's quite a lot this week actually, but we don't have time to do them all. We do have time to do them all, but we won't do them all. But there was another one about someday. Let me just get it here. Here it is here. Sorry. There we go. Russell Walker posted something that was kind of linked to the Apollo. It wasn't specifically the Apollo. And he talked about Henry Africa's. Do you remember Henry Africa's?
I don't remember. I remember it, but I never was there.
I think I was in it once, mate. I think I went actually with the aforementioned Graham. I think I went to a gig with Graham there.
Right.
And I cannot remember who it was, but I think I was only ever there once. But the point that Russell made was there was a support act and it was a female snake charmer with real snakes. The headline act was an American blues legend. Blah blah. Let's try to remember who it was. And there was a long debate. It was brilliant. Including people like Fraser Spears, who actually played with Big George Watt. Do you remember him? Supporting Bo Diddley, but there wasn't any snakes.
Is that Big George and the business.
I don't know if it's the same guy. Somebody will know. I don't know. It seems a bit of a coincidence, not for it not to be. But these sorts of things, I think, are brilliant. You know, when you get these amazing the dialogue and like even those pictures. There was also pictures at that gig from there was a support band called the British Lions.
Yeah. And I was looking at that. I was going, because I didn't read the post properly. I was going, I don't look like Status Quo.
No,
even though it's blurry, but I was like,
yes.
Status Quo. But yeah, it's great. It's good. I mean, all that stuff would be gone.
Exactly that. Now,
if, you know,
I'll show you that picture, Andy, that you were just talking about because it's such a good picture. I've got it here.
I'm just looking at it now on the Facebooks.
On the Facebooks.
Yeah.
Well, why is it not? Oh, it must have been. Oh, it's a dodgy one. It's one of these dodgy ones. I'm telling you, it's a dodgy one. It's because you like it. You see, that's why it's not working.
Dodgy.
Some of the images are dodgy. That the Facebooks don't like them. Not the Facebooks. The Restream doesn't like them. But let me just see if I can show everybody this because it's quite a good. Where the hell's it gone? Oh, there it is. Right. So this is the one that was on Andy's.
That one.
This one. Look at that. I mean, isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
And,
it is good. It is. But they would that's them. They would have to come in through the front door, I think, for that.
It looks quite big.
It looks quite big.
Yeah. So what is that? Is that a bit of stage, do you reckon?
That looks like a drum riser.
Aye. When I first looked at it, I thought it's a piano, but my God, it could be a piano.
It looks like a drum riser or some kind of riser thing going on there.
So anyway, so there was a load of these sorts of things just this week, and it's where I mean, I know I go on a bit, but it just gets my goat when I think that they could close us down and all this stuff would just suddenly disappear. Now we do have like that's from the Van Halen 1980 tour, but we do have like loads and loads and loads of the photographs saved, but we don't have them all saved because there's just too many of them, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge that we face if it gets pulled down. And I'm hoping that, you know, it won't happen. But anyway, that's me explaining why I'm grumpy at the moment. That's the reason. So let's just do a couple.
Well, I did like the William Brown stuff this week. He's not done some updates recently, but he's probably too knackered after doing the.
Remind us who William Brown is.
He's doing this. Sorry, he's doing the 3D model of the Apollo. He's got a shot from the stage, which is very, very good. Actually, quite like that shot. So it's looking at the 3 levels. Good. Yeah,
it's
good.
looking amazing. Pete, there's a question there about photographers being allowed in, saying they weren't. They actually were. What they used to do was they would give some official photographers like Robert Ellis would get a pass. So the likes of the AC/DC pictures you've seen from the Apollo, that was Robert, and a lot of the cool pictures. The other thing they used to do was they would give student photographers passes to go in just for 2 or 3 songs. And the collection we've got from Stuart Campbell, that's exactly what Stuart was. He was a student photographer. So there are photographs out there. You need permission, absolutely, but there were photographers. And there was the very famous chap, the Greek chap, wasn't there? His name's gone right out of my head.
Harry
Papadopoulos or something or other.
Hey, now, come on.
But anyway, and he's extremely famous and had a wonderful collection of Apollo photographs. So yeah, they are there, but they are done with permission. There are, of course, some people that sneaked in. I mean, I think the best ones I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were unofficial, was the Kiss black and white ones. I don't think they were official. I don't think that chap had permission. I think he sneaked the camera in.
I think he was a student.
Was he a student photographer? Right, okay.
Yeah. Harry Papadopoulos.
Well, I was close. There you go. See.
You were.
But
and I think he had an exhibition on.
He did.
10 years ago.
He's passed away now. But,
has he? Oh, dear.
Yeah, but terrific photographer, and that touches on the other thing. That I haven't played this stinger for a couple of weeks, but I'm just going to play it because obviously we're coming up to our get together, not far away. So this is where Andy and I are really keen to keep collecting your memories on video, because it just people passing. I mean, there's the guy from Procol Harum died this week. Someone else died yesterday as well, didn't they? Who was it? I've forgotten. But these people are passing away, and we're trying to capture the memories of not only the band's memories, but to be honest, we're more interested in the fans' memories. So if you are interested in contributing, just grab your iPhone, grab your Android, and do as a 60-second video. What were your memories of the Apollo? It would be so appreciated. And I tell you what, it's important. Now, we're having our get-together on the 17th of June at the Lauders, and we've got 6 tickets left now, folks, unless people start to get refunds, but nobody's asked for a refund yet. But got 6 tickets left, and we're going to have a photographer there, a professional photographer there. It's not 100% yet, so don't hold me to it, but he said he's coming. And we're going to try and get a wee booth going where we get people's memories. So it'd be really impossible to escape. I'm going to be chasing you around with Andy's t-shirts on.
It'd be a nightmare to edit that.
It will be, but I guess you'll have to do it. Muggins will have to do it.
So. With a pint and a wee, I mind going to the, what was it again? Who?
And it should be. It'll be good. And even if we get a sentence, from something you saw, because so many times we've heard these little things on the Facebook group that have led to a long discussion, and you see it with William doing the 3D model, the amount of interaction we've had that's going to make that model a cracker. It's going to be an absolute beauty, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because
I think it's a beauty already. It's brilliant.
Aye, yes, you're right. So if you want to get involved in that, drop us a line. If you look at on the Facebook group, one of the pinned messages, which is the ones that are at the top that are always there, is a link to my diary, and I'll do it for you. All you need to do is talk into the camera, and I will do the editing and pull it together for you. So someone's asking, how do we get a ticket for the meetup, Fiona? Let me just see if I can get it. It's actually on the Facebook group, but I'll put it up for you. Say something, Andy.
Well, I was going to say, like, to stir your memory, probably would be good to tag a mate who you went to the gig with.
Aye.
Just maybe you've fallen out, not fallen out, but you've lost contact with them. But if they've been in the Apollo, just put their name in and see if they're there, and then see if they'll. I think a couple of blokes a couple of weeks ago got in touch after 40 years after.
That was amazing.
After not seeing each other, so that's a great thing to do. Just see if your mate's in here already, and if they're there, go. Is it you? I'm looking for. Yeah, and then have a wee chat, and then see if you can remember. Like, oh yeah, we got the bus, and then we saw that there was a car on fire, or whatever.
Jesus Christ.
We set a car on fire, whatever you like.
Yeah.
We were down the lane, and then we saw, we were down the Renfrew lane, and we saw the band, and then they didn't give us any notice, or they did give us notice, or we went in, and then we sneaked in, chucked the ticket out, all that stuff. All those memories are, they're good for you and good for us to watch.
Oh, absolutely.
To read, mine when Big Jim met, all that stuff. It'd be good.
Fiona, you were asking there about where to get tickets, and I see you've got that story up. I'm going to grab that and tell it again because it's a good story. The company that we sell the tickets through are called Eventbrite. If you go onto their website, just www.eventbrite.co.uk, and then just search for Glasgow Apollo. There's only one gig at the Glasgow Apollo this year, and it's us. So you get tickets there if you don't use the Facebooks. If you use Facebook, if you go to the weekly updates that we do for this show on a Friday night, the address is there. You can just click and go in from there. You're not alone though in having trouble if you're having trouble, because a couple of people have come to me directly and I've bought them for them because they just wouldn't work, and they sent me the cash. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but and I do see a couple of people have returned their tickets now. So we've sold 71 tickets. So we've got 9 tickets left. for that night, Andy.
Oh,
9
cool.
tickets. So, and Fiona's wee story here, I think it'll all come on the stage. Yeah, there you go. Haha. I have already told you the story about meeting my ex-husband in the queue for UFO in 1983. We are divorced now, so I won't be tagging him in. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a good memory, though, I'm sure, Fiona. It's a good memory.
Ex-husband. Now ex-husband.
Now
Wasn't
ex-husband.
then.
Not then, yeah.
No. Former.
Yeah.
Future
Cheeky
ex-husband. Future ex-husband.
Cheeky monkey replying to Fiona saying you can bring him and tell him to UFO again. Excellent.
That's the kind of stuff that gets us off.
That's it. We'll get kicked off for that.
Kicked off for that.
And Cheryl's saying, just got in touch with an old friend from 40 years-ish ago. He saw a comment I'd made on the Apollo site, still bringing folk together. Ah, fantastic. That makes my day. That really does. That's made me less grumpy, Fiona, which is probably a good thing, the way I'm feeling. Anyway, so no, seriously, if you want to do a video, get in touch. Just DM me, call me, email me, send Andy a note, get in touch with us, and we'll help you do it. Because I can rustle these things up quite quickly. If you stick it on film, we'll do our very best. And on that front, we're also now asking bands and individuals who've been in bands or have helped bands or whatever, worked with bands to come on. Nobody this week, but we've got I think I've got about 5 coming now, Andy. You don't know them. I think I've told you one of them. I think maybe 2 of them, but there's a few folk coming on now that are, it's really cool because it seems to work, because we had Danny Hines on from Weapon, who's mates with Andy Scott from Sweet, who's mates with so we're trying to do it organically. So it's working, which is really cool. So we'll expect more guests, possibly one next week if I can get my finger out. I've got some work stuff I've got to deal with this week coming, so I might struggle a wee bit, but hopefully we'll have somebody as a guest on next week. Boots can't make it. That's tragic. That's like a party without punch, mate. We'll have to record it for you and do your video because that's disappointing. But so that's that. And then just to remind you, we've already spoken about it, but we are having this get together. But the other thing that's happening is at the end of April, we had John on from Bonfest last week, the week before. I can't even remember when it was, a couple of weeks ago. And Bonfest almost sold out. It's got 100 tickets left. It's a terrific night out. And there is about 20 odd folk going, Andy, from the site. Brilliant. So I'm going to put a wee note up and we'll meet in one of the pubs. So it'll be good to just say hello to those that are all at the Bonfest Festival in Kirriemuir at the end of April. It's a brilliant festival and it's packed with folk that are going to love our t-shirts. They're going to absolutely love them. So we'll get some banter. Boots, it really isn't going to be the same without you, mate. But we'll make up for it. We'll have another event. This is the first of many events if Andy and I can get our way. So I was just saying about the. Let me just
April. Maybe I'll see if I can get some AC/DC ticket tees made up.
Well, that would be good because it'd be good to wear them because we can all wear them. And just a bit of laugh. There's a lot of Germans go to it. It's quite weird. There's an awful lot of fanatical German Bon Scott fans, and it'd be quite nice to have some fanatical Scottish ones there. But massive wagons are playing. Just come, it's brilliant. Anyway, that's the Eventbrite address, as I said, for Fiona. But just go into Eventbrite and put in Glasgow Apollo. You'll get it no problem at all. It's a doddle. It's a real doddle. And you're saying invite Aussies. There are some Aussies coming. I was chatting to somebody. I thought he was winding me up. And there's a guy on here who comes from Melbourne every year to Bonfest. He's an absolute fanatic Bon Scott fan. So Pete, they're coming. The Aussies are coming. So it's quite fantastic. So we'll see a few of you there, no doubt. And I'm really looking for. I've told my brother, and he went, "Oh my god!" Do
they have AC/DC karaoke?
They do.
Live band karaoke though. They should.
Well, they did it. There's a pub. The Grail I can't remember. Yeah, they did it in there one year, and it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So
if I was there, I'd just watch.
Aye, so you would. And but the other thing is, if you don't have enough money to buy a ticket, still go because the best bit of Bonfest is Kirriemuir. You know, the festival itself is fantastic, but as John Crawford said himself, the actual atmosphere is amazing in the village, and you can get a back in black curry or a bon bun or whatever in the baker's shop.
What's a back in black curry?
I wouldn't ask. Right. I mean, I had a back in black pudding supper, which wasn't that imaginative, but it was.
That's all right. Back in black pudding. That's good.
But so the whole village does it. Every shop does it. Every single shop does it, except the one that's got a Hibs fan running it. But apart from that, you know, it's all nice.
What does he do? Just shut the shop.
Just shuts it down and just
what kind of shop is he?
Denies it.
What shop?
I can't say it on air; it would be inappropriate.
Oh.
So before we play some music, one other thing that I wanted to remind you that we're really keen to get you to send us and share on the Facebook group. So it's linked to what Andy said earlier about trying to remember things, and a few folk have commented in some of my stories on the group about how do you remember all this stuff. I don't. Andy will tell you I've got a rubbish memory, but the way I help myself remember things is I try to do what Andy did. I get into remembering who I was with, but also what I had, like what I was wearing.
He asked me.
Or I ask him, or a Wikipedia, or I speak to my brother, or I do whatever I can to try and remember the stories, because it's not always easy. But if you have something from the Apollo, there'll be stories in that. Now, we've had a few ideas on this, and not at this get together, but somebody actually, John, said that John Henry, who's a regular in the Facebook group and quite often comes on a Friday night as well, he suggested that maybe we could pull some of the things that people have got multiples of, and then auction them off, maybe for charity or something, or for the website to pay for some software or something. But so we're looking at ideas like that, and I've actually got 2 or 3 of those I was there stickers, and I don't need them all. So we could auction one of them, and that's probably worth a few bobs. So anyway, we'll have a think about it. But if you've got anything at all, and if you've got 2 armrests, I want one, please. I'd be very grateful. But Andy's got 2 in his loft, but he's 10,000 miles away from his loft, which is bloody hopeless. And Fiona's just bought a ticket for the get together. Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you, Fiona.
That's magic. So that's the reason why with the bits and pieces thing, we're really keen to grab stuff, because I tell you, Andy and I I got it framed, one of those blue I was there things from the Quo gig, and we sent it to Frank Lynch, who sometimes watches. Hello, Frank, if you're watching. I know his wife definitely watches. Hello, if you're there. And we mounted it in a little perspex thing and sent it to him, and he absolutely treasures it, because Frank left the Apollo with nothing. Numpty that he was, but he left it with nothing, so he was so chuffed to receive it. So that's why we want the artifacts.
He probably had a few million.
I think he did all right out of it in the end. Yeah.
Not nothing, he did.
And I think he now runs one of the largest car wash franchises in the United States. He's an old man now. He's still very active. So, right, now it is the 57th episode. So, in true Heinz variety attitude, I thought I'd look for something different this week.
Yeah.
And there's over 300. Sorry, I've not mentioned the guys. Rescued Recordings, Jack McCafferty and the guys are absolutely brilliant at collating these recordings. Some of them they have to, fix. There was one recently, I think it was ELP, wasn't it, where they've had to. It was an old one of these C120s, and they were fiddling with it and trying to fix it and get the balance
I think it kept breaking or something.
It was 50 years old, but I think they managed it though. So it was there's Pete saying he had a guitar lesson from Big George once. Very good, man.
Brilliant.
Excellent. I like that.
I'll post the link to Jack's group there. And yeah.
Look at the cheek I'm getting here. Oh no, I can feel Fish coming on. I wasn't even going to mention Fish. I wasn't even going to mention him, Boots. But I've written to Fish and asked them to come on the show, and Mark from Marillion to come on the show. So you never know. Yeah.
Mate, if Fish comes on, we just like say, "Hello, Fish. How are you?
Yeah,
what was your memory of the Apollo?" 2 hours
Fish
later,
on Friday's been the second best.
Thank you.
Fish on Friday's been the second best live show during lockdown, second only to Glasgow Apollo live. And
I wonder where you were going with that.
I know. But anyway, you started that, Boots. It's your fault. You see, I wasn't going to say anything. Anyway, Heinz 57 varieties. So we thought, what will we play? And there is a bit of a dearth of non-rock recordings from Radio Clyde, but there is a couple of bits and pieces of really good fan recordings from the audience. So tonight we're going to play one of those. And it's thanks to Jack and the team that we're having this tonight. And it's Gary Newman. Now, Gary Newman was one of the first people to get in touch with us when we started the website. I've told the story before, but I was sitting at my breakfast one morning with my ex and my two oldest kids, and the phone rang and she answered the phone. It's Gary Newman. The bugger phoned me at home. So, you know, he's really into the Apollo. I've asked him actually to come on the show. Well, I've asked his agent, Tony, somebody or other. So he might not even see it, but it'd be great if he did. But he's a big fan. So we're going to do two of his songs because his songs aren't as long as the wonderful Marillion. So we're going to do, and it's two classics. Andy's often moaning at me for playing obscure tracks because I don't have time to listen to a lot of these things. But tonight we're going to have two classics from Gary Newman. And thanks to Jack again, there's three cracking pictures from this gig of Gary Newman at the Glasgow Apollo. So I hope you enjoy this. I was never a Gary Newman fan, but I think he's brilliant, these recordings, and I actually quite like him these days. So he's a bit of a dude. So can you guess what it starts off? What the song is, Andy? What's the first one? Have a guess.
I know what it is, mate. Here in my camp.
Here's you should be in a cover band, Gary Newman.
No.
Did you think I'd fallen asleep? Did you think I'd fallen asleep?
I don't know what you'd done. I was just
We have
enjoying
a
the track there. They just went.
Mr. Potts is in. Hello, Willie. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Tell us about the Stones lighting rig. Willie was an electrician at the Apollo and is we used to say a wealth of knowledge, a deep well of knowledge about the Apollo. It's great to have you here. Yeah. So, what did you think of that? Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy that.
It was all right, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was good.
Pete's saying there, that the quality was a bit echoey and stuff. Yeah, it was, but I mean, it was somebody had one of these little tape recorders with the two buttons probably and recorded that. It's not too bad. And if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have anything else. So, yeah, it's a great recording. I really like it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's been great fun again. There you go.
Can I just say that in the break there, I made a wee link.
Yes, I've got it here.
So if you are a bit put off by that massive long URL, it's tickets, mate. Tickets.
Oh, well, I just cut. Oh, did I make a mistake there? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Anyway. Oh, no, man.
It wasn't me. It was the big boy.
Oh, no. So it's glasgowapollo.com/tickets. If you go there, you'll get taken to wherever you. You'll get taken. It's easier to remember than eventbrite.co.e/Glasgow Apollo live get-togethers. Tickets 17772222000689. It's much easier. So just to glasgowapollo.com/tickets and you'll be taken to the right place. So there's how many? Nine tickets left. You said
there's only 9 left. There's only 9 left, and the other thing that we want to start doing, and we've not quite got it right this week. We're going to, because these t-shirts are just magic. And Andy's been at it again this week. Let me show you this. If it'll play, it's not happy. Why is it not happy? Why is it doing that? It won't let me show it, Andy. Oh, that's a bummer.
It's probably because it's on Facebook.
No, it might be. You never know. But
you showed it earlier.
I did, but it's gone off. You see, it's hang on. I know what to do. Hold on, I'll show you this, folks.
It's gone off.
Just have a wee swatch at this, by the way, big man. Oh, it's not doing that either. Oh, Gordon Bennett. Right. Well, we can't do it this week, but never mind. Next week. Why is it doing that? That's really quite peculiar. Right, I'm going to do it. Yeah, it's been very naughty, but no. So what t-shirt have you done this week? What have you done this week?
Hold on. I'll just see.
You can stick it up. You can show photographs, can't you?
No, I can't.
Can you not?
I can just share my screen.
Right. Okay.
Well, what I did this week is this must be totally thrilling for the viewer. Yeah. Hold on.
If I can get my finger.
Hold on. Can I do this? What happens when I do that?
Oh, you try it and see what happens.
All right. Okay. So there you go. The Stranglers, Alice Cooper, Ted Nugent, Crocus. I did an Apollo one, which is a homage to the I Was There one, and the Apollo and Apollo.
Very good.
So one's a bit sort of distressed looking, and it was John Henry put me in mind of it to do one like that because I'd seen the one that he's got, and he goes, I don't know where I got it from, but I put a little underneath the one of the legs of the A. I put a little Apollo, glasgowapollo.com, so that you wouldn't forget where you got it.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
A lot of folk in here need that help, mate. I mean, it's quite important for me. I forget that sort of thing regularly.
Yeah.
So let me just see if I can show them this.
Because someone asked him where he got the T-shirt and he couldn't remember. So I thought,
there we go. There they are. So that was this week. I think they're great, and I like the. I mean, he's he's still not done any that him and I were at, so he's not doing that well. But was there not? There's a Crocus one which is quite
not
good.
Done that well.
Yeah,
It's a while at doing it.
Oh, come on, mate. You need to get our ones up there. But they're very good, aren't they? I do like the I do like the Ted Nugent one. I mean, I wasn't at
Yeah,
that.
I'd see.
I like that.
I know it's a bit nerdy, but I do like those tickets better than the other tickets. They
Aye.
just look better. I don't
Yeah.
know. They're just
No,
nice.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So,
They look like classic Apollo tickets, which is weird, you know. But that reminds me that the good tickets, those ones. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad people are buying them, and I'm glad
they're
people
loving them. They're
are
loving
liking them. And I'm sorry about your difficulties in working out how to buy it and all that. But you know, you'll get there eventually. Don't give up. Keep going.
There's a few comments here. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Hold on, let me just before we switch off. Fiona's saying she enjoyed the old recordings, and then Pete's saying they all sound the same. They do. They all have that echoey vibe about them, don't they? And it used to buy them. What's that now? I don't know. The Savoy Centre. Where was that?
Savoy Centre was on, I think, Sucky Hall Street.
Right.
I think. But I remember going into Glasgow up there, walking up there and getting some at the record fair.
Right. Okay. I got it. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. We have, as always, have our Zoom shenanigans after the show. Really easy to get to now. www.glasgowapollo.com/Zoom. It's been brilliant the last few weeks. We've had a right laugh. So if you fancy, just come on for 5 minutes, say hello to everybody, because they're all really nice. Well, most of them are nice. And we can have a chat and a drink together. I've got a whole bottle of red wine to get through tonight, Andy. In fact, I might even get a Guinness out the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling quite thirsty.
Bottle of wine and a Guinness?
No, I'll put the wine away. I'll just have the Guinness.
Oh, right.
Right. I'm not. Maybe I'll have both. Would they go together? No, I don't think they would.
Oh,
thanks for all your support. We've been amazed by the support on the various, like on Coffee, which is the little site that you can buy as a drink or whatever. Folk are doing it all the time. It's brilliant. So it's paid for some of our software, and it's still building up for the next lot. So really appreciate it. It's brilliant. Special thank you to Mr. Lynch for sending us some cash last week. Frank, that was brilliant. Frank and Linda, absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. That's going to really help towards paying for Canva, which is the software we use to do all the images, and you wouldn't know it, of course, but all these images we use, we actually design them ourselves. It's like the t-shirts as well. Andy does all of these himself, you know. He doesn't cut and paste these. He does these himself. So that's why they're so good, Andy. So they're credit to you, mate. They really are. So someone's asking for the Zoom link again. www.glasgowapollo.com/Zoom.
Oh, Sinclair Curdy. Come on, Sinclair.
Come on, Sinclair. Join us, mate. Join us. Come in and have a look. It'd be great to see you there. It's a good old laugh.
I'll type it in for him.
There you go. Thanks, Andy. Good man. And remember, the tickets are available the 17th. There's 9. Oh, maybe there's no 9 now. Maybe 8 left now. Since Fiona got one. So thanks very much. We hope to see you next week. And Mr. Muir's done a stonking job. I agree with you, Pete. That's an absolutely brilliant job with these t-shirts and the special wee magical links that he does. So good night from me. My name is Scott MacArthur.
And my name is Andy Muir.
And
from me.
He's desperate for a coffee. I'm going to get a drink because it's got to that time o'clock.